Hello, my name is Tintin, and I have a full-time job as a YouTube producer for this YouTuber here, Ali Abdal, and I want to show you how I made this thumbnail here. I used to make all the thumbnails. I now work with a thumbnail designer to help make our thumbnails, but I'm going to show you how I made this one here because I made it in Canva, and I thought it'd be useful to show some of you how it was made and why we went for this concept and the psychology of the thumbnail and all that kind of good stuff. So, first of all, I think let's just talk about the concept. Let's just look at it here. There are lots of different like poses and styles of thumbnails that we've tried with Ali. But I thought for this video, which was initially called how to make $1 million in your 20s or how to become a millionaire in your 20s, we can actually check what the original title of the video was using this tool here, Creator ML. It's like a plugin, and you can see the changes of these dots. And if you go back to the beginning here, you can see it was how I became a millionaire in my 20s and then how to make millions in your 20s. And then we sort of landed on this title after an A/B test, and it since has taken off after that A/B test, and it's done very well. And we went for this concept because it just felt like it worked for the video. It was very much a before and after type of video, how to do this. And the before state is very easy to represent in a number, and the after state is very easy to represent in a number as well, 0 to 1 million. And you've seen it work well in previous videos. And this kind of concept, this before and after, especially in this sleep one here, here before and after. And I think it's just, it's a very popular concept on YouTube. So I thought a before and after would work. So knowing that, I then went about just trying to design a few different variations on Canva. And Canva is all you need to make good thumbnails, especially for educational channels where you don't need you don't need the design to be so incredible. It just needs to be really clear about what you're going to learn in the video, what's going to happen. And so we have this picture here, and I'll just make it full screen so you can see it for a second. This is the picture. It was very simple. We did a whole bunch of poses when we took these photos. I think I'm actually standing here, like sort of pressing the shutter camera with Ali, so that we can just get through the photos quicker. So obviously quite helpful to have like an extra person there. But anyway, you can see here that there's nothing special about this photo. It's just Ali at his desk with a pose. And if you zoom in, you can see that the camera is quite high quality, but you absolutely don't need, that level of quality for your thumbnails. You can use a phone, a normal camera. It'll easily be good enough. It does help a little bit, but not much. And I think this is a Sony A7 III or something like that. Anyway, I'll show you how I make this thumbnail and why I made certain decisions with it as well. So what I first of all do is duplicate it and then detach this one and remove the background. Well, that was quick. Normally it takes a bit longer than that. Then what I'll do is I will fit this to the image in just a slightly better way. So just trying to figure out where can I see Ali's hands, because we don't want to lose those. See his head, not cut off too much. Have his eyes in the middle. Often his eyes will be in line with this this top line here, but in this case, putting them a bit higher so we can have his hands in there. I think that looks about right. Maybe move it a tiny bit to the left. Nice. Okay, cool. Then have this top layer on top. The reason is so that we can have stuff behind it. So I can put stuff behind this layer and then also have the background and the foreground be slightly different, like color filters or whatever, color settings. So I get this to sort of fit him like this, and just play around. This takes a minute to do. Get it to fit him like that, and then I'll delete it to see where I'm going wrong. Okay, it looks like it's a little low. What's going on there? Looks like it's a tiny bit. Sometimes it's really hard to tell what's exactly happening. Zoom in a bit. Oh, it looks like it's a bit too small actually. Bit fiddly. There's probably a better way of doing this. It's a lot easier on Photoshop. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for now. We can adjust it later if we need to, but it looks pretty good. So that's that. Now let's just get all the kind of basics in there, all the sort of stuff that we're going to need. So we're going to put the numbers. So we're going to have $0. And we're going to make this enter. We're going to make it white. Whoops. I'm going to get white. We're going to make it white. There we go. Then effects, you go shadow, full blur, full transparency, and change the shadow to black. So now that looks a lot better. And I'm going to make it around that size. Duplicate it, drag this one over here, and I'm going to change this to 1 million. And I'm going to make this one slightly smaller, just because it feels a little bit too intense. And then it's just about kind of placing these, and you want them to be level, or the middles to be level. But then thirds theory will say, like sort of, you know, the theory of thirds with design is that you would kind of want things to be at the overlap of the thirds. So if I was to click on this and move Ali around, you can see that this is the thirds grid. And so you often want things to be kind of in this area here, or this area here, this area here. It's where your eyes are naturally drawn to. So that's why these look quite nice in these slots. I think maybe I'm going to make it slightly lower because we're going to have an arrow coming in the background. So let's get that in there. So just type in arrow up here, like that, you know, arrow, press enter, you get a whole bunch. I go to graphics because that's where you get the actual, you know, graphics. And then I'm going to use this one because this one is often something that I use in thumbnails, but it's just not going to fit behind his head. So I'm going to use this one. Then I'm going to flip it vertically like this. And then we're just going to have to play around with this a bit. But let's rotate it a little bit. I might make it a bit smaller. Then I'm going to send it back by, the keyboard shortcut is Command square bracket, left square bracket. So you can fiddle like that. Or you can press right click and go layer, send to back. And I'm going to turn it green. And the reason I'm going to turn it green is because, which I can look at here, is because there is a video that we posted quite a while ago. Because it's called How to Invest as a Teenager here. And we did a thumbnail A/B test on this video, and it turned out that the green arrow was a lot better than the, I think, white or yellow arrow that we initially used. And the reason is pretty simple, is green is like the image of money, it's the color of money. And we just hadn't thought about it at the time. It seems very simple. Once you've learnt it, it seems obvious. But at the time, it hadn't really occurred to us. And so now, whenever we do something related to money, often put it in green. And so it really stands out here. If it was any other color, if it was white or yellow, it wouldn't quite have that sense of money to it. So you often have to think about what is the emotion, what are the colors that represent the things you're talking about in the video. So that actually made a big difference. I suspect this video wouldn't do as well, genuinely wouldn't do as well, if the arrow was a different color. So now it's just about playing around with these things. Let's just bring them down a bit. Might make that one a bit. Let's get that one sort of in there. Maybe actually just going to move it like that. Okay, those are aligned. Let's get the arrow. I'm going to make it a tiny bit smaller. Move it into the middle. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's about right. That's about right. And then what you do, final touches, is just to Ali and the background. So the background, I'm going to make it blue. When Ali was kind of in this flat, now moved out, we had this sort of blue theme going on because the blue background, there was a nice blue background light, and I thought I'd bring that through in the thumbnails as well. We kind of lost it, and so it doesn't make as much sense for the thumbnails to be blue anymore, but it was a nice sort of brand piece for a while. And so literally just turn down the temperature. I'm also going to make the blur here more intense. I think about 25. We rarely go above 25. Nice. Yeah, maybe I'll make it a little bluer. It's quite blue. Minus 55. Maybe actually turn the brightness down a tiny bit. Minus 10. Then I'm going to make Ali pop. And this is very simple. Often just turning up the brightness to sensible levels. I just play around with these to try and see what looks good. Actually, I'm not going to play with the contrast right now. Just turn up the highlights, make him a lot brighter. Shadows. I'd be a little bit more careful with all of this if this was actually going out on the channel. but often this, just put 10 sharpness to make it a little sharper. That looks pretty good. And if I delete, yeah, Ali looks like he's in the right place. Oh, why does that not come back? There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's compare it to the final thumb that we actually had. So this is the one that actually is on the channel. Okay, so I made it a bit darker. The brightness just went down a bit just to make the contrast a bit more. And then Ali was a little bit more, his contrast setting's a bit higher here. But yeah, both clean. He's a bit high, a bit lower as well. Could model this a bit lower, but this would work very well. And so that is how we design the thumbnail. Very simple. And this before and after contrast is really nice. With big channels like Ali's, you can afford to have these kind of broad concepts. If you were trying to, as a beginner, to make this kind of thumbnail with, you know, how to make millions in your 20s with 0 to 1 million, it'd be a lot harder to stand out. Ali already has a big audience, but this concept you can use for lots of different things. It could be like, you know, how to get your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, or how to, you know, like set up your first sewing business, go from like $0 to $100. And if you have a channel about sewing, and you can use this same concept, and it would likely work very well. And it's about one of the other reasons this works well is because it looks credible, it feels credible, it looks legit. It's like a nicely designed thumbnail. It's simple, it's clean, it has like a cool background that you can sort of see here, and it just feels nice, it feels legit. And yeah, that's all there is to say about that thumbnail. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what else you would like to learn about on this channel. Comment anything that you're interested in learning about, or that you'd like me to talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry about my nasally voice, I'm just a little bit ill, but yeah, see you in the next one.